Okay, guys, can you hear us now? Test, test, test. Can you hear me? Perfect. Okay, now Joe's going to say something. Tell us what you think about his audio. Joe, go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Joe. Just posting up, getting ready to do some chart work. This is Joe posting up, getting ready to do some chart work. Let me know if you can hear me.
Ah, perfect. All right, we're in business. Does the sound quality sound okay? Perfect. Okay. All right. So we're gonna look at a few charts, and I'm gonna let Joe just kind of take over right here. What you're gonna see is his charts on my screen here. So Joe, it's all yours, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, first off, I'm getting some hits on Twitter asking for the link.
Oh, are you? Okay. I'll send it to you in a private message here.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Okay, thanks. Okay, well, do it. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, I'll put it out there. Hold on a minute. That ain't the best multitasking, I'll tell you that. Hold on. You want to start with Bitcoin first, or you just want to kind of get a...
Yeah, I think, Bitcoin's the number one. It's the big dog, so we might as well, start with it and kind of go from there, yeah.
Kind of like the S&P 500 is for the SPY. We were doing the SPY, we just trade off the SPY. It's, same thing as the other. But yeah, we start there. And rumors, lies, and innuendos all day today, about, bottom in, bottom out, whatever. But I think a lot of people are scared to kind of get pumped up about it. It's like, Christmas supposed to have gotten here 3 or 4 times, and it passes up. So I'm not going to get excited, until it's actually, past Christmas and into the New Year. Just an analogy. I'm not saying that it's going to be that far away until we get, some sort of rally. But you know what I'm saying. It feels like people are kind of hesitant to get emotionally involved again. And you can't blame them. We've hit these ups and downs so many times. And, it's like people's hearts been ripped out of their soul, out of their chest. So they're a little hesitant to go all in emotionally and everything else. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, Joe. It's people get their hopes up thinking that here comes the breakout, and then all of a sudden, like you said, they get their hearts ripped out and it drops yet again. So,
right.
But the good news is that, at least with the news today, is that we got that, they're going to start looking into the people that are manipulating the price. And I think that's a good thing. So,
right. And it was almost like when, correct me if I'm wrong, the way I felt, it was like when cryptos first started coming out, getting, a little popular and stuff. The premise behind it was, the good guys against the bad guys, the people, the, middle class, whatever, just the common, the hardworking guy and gal, whatever, against the big global bankers. And, decentralized and everything. But I guess like with anything else, just human nature is a lot of people are just greedy, and then you have the people in there hacking accounts and stuff. So, you got the criminal element, and they always, mess it up for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
So you end up having to put regulations in there, you end up having to put, hall monitors in the hall to keep the little kids, their adults, in line. So,
exactly, no doubt. No
and
doubt.
that's just a shame it had to turn out like that. But now, I was totally against, I'll admit, I was totally against regulation. I was totally against, the government or any, I'm all about small government. That's another issue. But anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of welcoming, in a way, some of the, the police officers walking up down the street now. So
exactly.
Kind of protect us. And I think that's going to get confidence. Yeah, I think that's going to get confidence in folks that want to put maybe a little bit of retirement money in there and see what happens. Because you generally think your retirement funds, they need to be like really, really safe and real good, established, reputable, types of products and maybe with established, licensed bodies. And once we become that way, and kind of off topic here, the Winklevoss twins with Gemini.
Yeah.
Heard a little rumor today that, of course, everyone knows Litecoin is supposedly going to be hitting the exchange real soon. But there's some news above and beyond that. But let me go back to that. If it's going to hit the 1st of June, I could see people, and that might have been part of the reason Litecoin outran the big three today, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Maybe people are trying to load up, or smart traders are loading up and going to wait for that big pump that possibly, like no guarantee, possibly might hit as soon as the real news comes out, or run up until the news comes out. You know what I'm saying? It could run up until the news comes out and then they'll sell the news, or it could run up and keep running up, when the news comes out. But what I was saying above and beyond that, the little rumor out now is that the CME, the ones that Chicago Mercantile Exchange, trillions of dollars a day in commodity trades, et cetera, they might be looking at Litecoin. Now, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that.
If that's true though, Joe, I mean, it's gonna do just like Bitcoin did when the announcement came that they were going to do in the future. So this thing, if the CME futures, if the CME futures come out and they say, hey, we're going to put Litecoin on there, I mean, it could go to the roof.
You could see Litecoin running into the thousands.
You could very well, easily.
I mean, because the hundreds, it'll start going up like no tomorrow. Yeah. So I mean, that could cut both ways. Mm-hmm. But again, I guess we're just going to roll with the punches. It's just not going to be a bunch of, people that are grounded, want cryptos for the technology and want it, for the better of man. There's going to be, guys over here in suits and ties, smoking cigars,
exactly.
Stereotyping those guys. Yeah. But anyway, well,
what do you say we get into some charts here? I know people are kind of curious about where things are going and where we're headed, so I'll let you take controls right now and see what you got.
Okay, well, I'm looking at my Bitcoin chart here. Now, this is trying to get us right to everyone. And anyway, I'm basing off of Coinbase because that's where, a lot of the, trading is taken care of. Everybody's heard of Coinbase, where a lot of retail people have, just for the simple use, have used. So, that's just kind of what I'm using now. But let me start really and just show you. I don't know about you guys. Let me take all that trash off there. Okay, that seems to be still in a bull market to me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to pump it or sell it or anything else, but it still seems to be in the bull market. You know, it's not like just diving down straight. You know what I'm saying? It's not going down the way it went up.
Right.
And let me put on a couple other your 50. Now we need to. Also, we probably need to get back up over the 50 here. I like to see it. Over 7,600. I think 7,600 would probably be a good. Well, let me take that back. Probably 7,900, 8,000 to be back in safe waters. But as you can see, you know, here's the high, you know, lower high. You know, I mean, it is stairs. You can stair step, boom, 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 stair step all the way down. Now we haven't taken out this low, and then now we're the low is here, but we're above this low. So technically, theoretically, I mean, we are making higher lows, a higher low. So far, it's a higher low here, and then and this is a nice little pullback. Higher low, you got a low, a higher low, and then hopefully within another couple, 3 weeks, maybe through June, we can make a higher high, and then it's game on.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
If that makes sense, yeah. And then let me close some of that stuff out. Maybe I'm taking some of those indicators off just to clean up the chart. And then, but here, we'll just start with a clean chart here. And that's just, you know, it's just been a downtrend deal. But we, you know, so long as I think 6,700, all this, let me pull it up here, all this vibration here in trading, as long as we, you know, stay in that cluster or above, I think we're okay. We might be all right now, even. You know, the change of climate coming into June, and you know, more good news and things coming out, and then also the judicial department. It wasn't the SEC, Security Exchange Commission. It was the judicial department. I mean, those guys.
Yeah.
That's the one. Those are the guys that lock you up. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's criminal activity is what they're looking at. They're looking at people manipulating price to benefit them.
Right, and then the Mount Gox deal, if I'm saying that right, that should be, you know, about done, if not completed. I got that information from Vic Weir over at Roto-Rooter. His, you know, YouTube deal, he's a good guy. Seems, you know, pretty on top of things like that. And he was showing the evidence of the, you know, the wallets and stuff of Bitcoin that the guy over in Japan has, that they're getting, you know, the fiduciary or whatever of it from Mt. Gox that's been dumping and caused, you know, basically all this.
Oh, yeah.
But, so, anyway, that long-term trend line, you know, we started here, bumped it, couldn't get over, consolidated here, got over it, which is good. Technically, could we come down and bounce off of it again? Yeah, anything's possible. But I hope we don't. But I hope worst case scenario, if there is this 7,000.
Yeah.
Now, you had called it as well, but you know, you just didn't do it on Twitter like I did. But that, let me build this up. That 7,400 right there that I just popped up there. That's, you know, we're looking at it, but you were looking at it with the fibs, and I was looking at it just high pivots in the last, you know, buy or foundation or support that we had. And actually, both our calls would have been about spot on, except they dumped the news on us last night. It dipped down, I think, what, 7,200?
Correct, yeah.
So, yeah, 7,269. But 69, so the guys that were calling for 7,200, they missed about 69. We're calling for 7,400 and went to 7,433. We missed about $33. So
yeah,
I think we won on that one. So
absolutely.
Anyway,
I agree. Now, looking at your chart, just real quick, looking at your chart right there, I'll move my mouse into here for a second. And I mean, do you think? I mean, and this maybe we can look at it, but if we break this area right here, I'm looking at your trend line, and don't you think, I mean, it could do a back test of that trend line? Is that, what do you think, Joe?
Oh, yeah, that's why I left it up there.
Yeah.
And also that's why I felt, right when I started talking about this trend, I said, yeah, technically it could come back, but I don't know where. I mean, it can't hit here because it's right above today's, candle, so it's got to be from 65, 60, like over here on the far right, you can see the price going down.
Yeah.
And that's why that other purple dash lines, you can see my mouse right here.
Yeah.
Like 59, 6,000, because you have all this vibration over here trading, and that's what got us right here too. And I'll be glad when we start rolling again, because you and I can come in there and we make people, no guarantee, disclaimer, we don't know anything. One thing we know is that we don't know anything. But I'm just saying, you got to play some of these, pivots, support and resistance areas. You can put some of those lotto plays down here, some of that deep fishing plays, and like I was showing, well, I think I'll just keep that between us. Well, I was showing you and Pay the other night with the 200. Yeah. But anyway, this, there's a lot of people that are right here, and that's not coincidental that price came down right to that high pivot, this low pivot. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's all about design. Yeah, I don't care if it's algos, bots, computer-generated trading, whatever. That's where those guys go. If you know how to play the game, being there and snatching it up. So that was a pretty good little run, if you got in there. But just, I don't know if you want to add to, or you want to go to the 4-hour and what we're looking at. Okay. Let me clean all this up. Okay. And that was a huge, just brutal sell-off the other day. And look at that. See right here, all the red was, that sell volume coming in. And it's trying hard to hold its own right now, which is pretty good after that massive, dump, sell-off, whatever you want to call it. And then we had that news this morning that some people took as bad, but obviously it wasn't, because look, it rebounded almost a mirror candle. Mm-hmm. The next 4 hours it was a mirror candle back up. Yeah. And then we're putting in there's the lowest low is right here, then a higher low, then a higher low. So right now we're, for the last 12 hours, we've been making higher lows, which is positive,
Yeah.
So I'm at 7,600, which I think I put on Twitter today at 7,650 is what I was saying. We could get over 7,650, which you can see is just right here. Mm-hmm. You'll be all above and beyond all this resistance. And then by then, that 12 EMA will be coming down. You'll be over it too. Then the next run will be up to your 20. Yeah. The reason why I use that 12 EMA is that's what GDAX uses. That's their first, moving average, exponential moving average that they use. I think it's the 12 and 21, but I just use the 12 to kind of see what all those millions of other people are seeing on GDAX. And then I use the 20 because that's just old school. There's a lot of different reasons for that. Reason I use that. But anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at there. Then we go to the RC. That looks good. And, this was overnight right in here by the hour. Boom, 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 all that news came out. Mm-hmm. And then somebody goes, hey, that's not as bad as what we thought. See that big green, volume candle there? Yeah. So I started throwing this up. And then right now we're really just consolidating.
That's exactly
and
right.
This is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Mm-hmm. I'd say within the next couple of hours, we're going to be driven one way or the other. And I think up is, maybe a better bet than down, but we'll see. The reason why I say that, because see this went all the way down, and look, people came in and bought it all the way up.
Yeah.
This one, it was all the way down here, people came in and bought it all the way up.
Well, you see those low wicks out the bottom of these, like right here, And right there, you see those long wicks. That's support, you know, and you could almost draw a trend line, and it almost, I mean, who knows? I mean, you could almost draw a, and I hate to say it, but you could draw a bear flag on a pattern like that. I mean, it's kind of iffy, but you could. But yeah, it's just, it's like you say,
I know saying something like that,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is. I mean, technically, and the people that are watching, what he means is, if it's going up, most people think, oh, okay, if it's trending up like that, we're gonna, you know, keep bouncing up and go up. But actually, unfortunately, it has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
You know, up, and they don't fall out the bottom.
Right.
And then the reverse for, you know, what do you call it? I'll just fake this one here just to show people.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be more your, here we go. So if it's, you know, trending kind of down like this, and then it'll pop up out. I know that's,
yeah, that would be a bull. That would be a bull flag. Yeah, that's a bull flag. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that's weird, but that's just weird.
All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Real quick before we continue, can everybody hear us okay? And is the video quality okay? Okay. All right, we're good to go, Joe, it looks like. So,
Okay.
what do you think? What's next? Ethereum or Litecoin? What do you want to look at?
Well, if there's any comments about what they want to see next, or
Yeah, let's see.
ETH or LTC?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions on Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'll start there.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions about Bitcoin? And I think what I'll do real quick, Joe.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll just slide this over for a second. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and I'll just throw up because me and Joe are pretty much spot on the same kind of stuff here. But
it's just different techniques.
It is.
And we're
Yeah.
just kind of and we're just double checking each other.
Yeah.
You know, checking
exactly right. But
you know,
that's what I've got on Bitcoin. It's very similar to Joe's, and all I have is fibs in there. Okay, and so your first area of resistance is going to be right here at close to 7,900. If it gets there, that's the thing. So we would like to see it get up there and at least test it, and then you got moving averages coming down. This is a daily chart, by the way. But if it can break through those, you know, and it's going to take a lot of chop, and it's not going to be an overnight thing, I don't think. But we'll just have to kind of mosey our way around, you know, and try to just the next couple of days and see if we can kind of zigzag up a little bit, and then swinging over just real quick to a 4-hour chart. Yeah. So we kind of got this, you know, and it's basically the same type of thing. We are trying to get past the 10-day moving average, which is real close to your 12, Joe. Trying to get past the 10, but it's getting rejected a little bit here right now. So we'll see if it can, you know, if it can make a move or not. But that's kind of what I got on Bitcoin. I'm going to move Joe's chart back over, and we'll go over to see if anybody has any. Oops, hang on. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. Had the wrong. There we go. Okay, you're back up, Joe.
okay. I guess I'll just go ahead and do the Litecoin next. That's a big, favorite of everyone. And like, here's the weekly. Everybody's familiar with that. I took everything off of it. You know, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Just real nice consolidation way back here. in here before the runs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3. You know, I was saying I'm not going to get into too much detail. Not, you know, I'm going to get too much of the ingredients that's in the stew, but it trades in 3s and 7s and multiples of 3s and 7s, and you got 3 down here. So I'm expecting, you know, next week for a start reversing. And again, you know, stair set down here, 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 and here. And then the saving grace is we made a low right there, a little bit higher low. And then when we get technical, this is actually a higher low here. So the lowest, the next lowest, a little bit higher low. And now we're right in here. So we can maintain, really, we need to maintain right about where we are. I mean, we could come down here and get close to it, but technically we really need to stay, you know, a few dollars above, you know, probably $10 above where we are now. You know what I'm saying? Because we dropped $10, it's going to be right about in here. Yeah, this is 117. The close of this candle here, the green, that little bitty green part was 117. So we're just a few dollars above that. So we need to stay there or higher. What I'm getting at, in order to make a higher low, and then we start making higher highs going back up, that'd be technically strong and incredible. So, and then also, if you look down here, there's not, of course, I know we still have, you know, through Sunday technically at 7 p.m. Central ends the week for cryptos, but as you can see, we've had less sell volume each week. Those red. Now, you know, we'll see, that'd be a good thing, you know. There's, you know, they're not just dumping out on us. Okay, let's go to that quick and square this up per one. And then, okay, I want you to look at this, and then I want to show you, I want to go back to December 1st of January and show you what we were looking at, how we got out, okay? And it's, you know, I'll steal anything if I think it'll work in charting, but this hyperwaves, they use these type of drawings, and boom, here we go, it'll come back, yeah. Right here, right up here, see it came down, hit this blue trend line, and it came back up, and they couldn't get above. People were going, well, that candle's here, I got above it. Well, it really didn't. This is the top. See, it never got here. This one was lower than lower, and this one never got up, you know, a close above the high here, a high there. So we knew it was going to be, you know, cratering. Also, the euphoria, like right now, it's reversed now. Everybody's going, oh my gosh, this thing is going to, you know, back to $50, whatever. Well, so it's probably ready to run, okay? Yeah. And then right here, people were buying it hands over fist right here. Yes, that's why you had these huge, and of course there was, you know, now we're finding out there was manipulation from other countries. I don't want to throw Japan under the bus. I think Japan, there were some exchanges over there, people, whales, whatever, that were buying it really hard. You know, of course I don't have any proof of that. I just, just hearsay on the internet, so it's got to be right. But anyway, and then then the Mount Gox thing happened at different points and everything. And then again, okay, let me get back to this trend line here. See this trend line? This is solid, man. It, goes all the way from our top all the way down here. Couldn't get over it. I mean, it's strong. We got over it, then we got through it, and then people came in and go, no, we're not going back down again. And then we came up, and you have that count. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it starts reversing.
Hey,
then right here, 1, 2, 3.
Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt. Real quick.
Yeah.
On your chart, I'm not seeing your mouse, and I just want to ask everybody in the channel. I know he's pointing at certain things. Can you guys see where he's pointing to, or I see the sidebars. Yeah, I see the sidebars moving in the. But it may be the little crosshairs.
Okay, now I'm using the crosshairs now.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah, change your crosshairs. Okay. Yeah, change your crosshairs.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is a learning experience. We know. Okay. That
makes sense. Exactly, okay, guys. This is all kind of a test deal, guys, so forgive us. I mean, but we just want to try to get you guys the information. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take this blue line and thin it out so people can see better. Okay, this trend line that's really dictating a lot came through it, and then today they just wouldn't let us close above. I was hoping we'd close above it. That would have been real strong. And right now we're just kind of consolidating, just sitting there, 122 or so. But if we can get back above that down trend line, that'd be real positive. I'll just kind of say that's the main thing. I mean, for Litecoin right now,
sure,
we need to get above this down trend line, get back up there, and then I can take this one off at that point. But once we get above that, then the next area that I see is right here, about 131. If we can get over that trend line, then the next little obstacle is right, and then the 12 EMA, the little black line coming down, that might be a little bit of resistance. But the main one is where it's, right here. You have those wicks coming down, the candles come down. So and the reason why I'm going kind of in detail is I want people to know, with me just saying, hey, or you saying, hey, resistance at 131. Well, yeah, I see 131, but why is that? So as we do these videos and stuff, I want to show people what you're seeing, what I'm seeing, and why we're saying that.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then I mean, at some point we could even do some, live trading right on. I'll live trade right here, right now. I don't care. Whatever the people want, whatever sells tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly right.
And show them the insanity that we're thinking, here, and why we're doing that. But once we start running, then I'll start showing people, hey, there's going to be a little bit of, like right here, once we start to run, right here, boom, that's going to be my first 163 or 160. And that's another thing. There's, so much to tell people about this stuff, but the market loves whole round numbers,
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So if we get into the 30s, we're going to run to 40. That's, and then we get in the 40s, we're going to hit that psychological 150 is what I'm getting at. And as you can see right here, that's, after we get through there, then there's a little bump right there. And 140 was the devil getting through. That's, that was real tough. You remember,
oh, yeah.
a few days ago, we couldn't get through that 140.
We were talking about it. We were like, what in the heck's going on? It was like, couldn't get through.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap it up for the people to death are watching, what we need to do, we need to, keep that momentum going. I'm just saying obvious things. We need to get above that trend line coming down, which is really not bad. If we can get a close tomorrow above today's high was 125.25, and if we can get a close above that, I think it's game on into the 30s, easy, and then maybe a pullback a little bit. Because remember, you got to make another higher low, so maybe up here in this low 30s, and then come back, make a higher low, and then jam through there again, and then attack your 139, 140 range. That's perfect scenario. Now, see, that's the way it does going down. You see, you went low, then it made a lower high, and then it made a lower low, and it made a lower high. And see, it does the same thing going up and down.
Oh, it does.
So, so that's why, because if you're short, you're going, oh my goodness, why is it going up? Well, you got to make a lower high, because that was your last high. So to make it healthy, and you see how healthy it was, it made a lower high, it couldn't get up.
Yeah.
It, fell down. So, we were talking about this the other night. I think it'd be interesting to people to hear, but this area here, we dumped from, 420 all the way down here. Now, why in the world would it just stop right here? And it just went sideways for, what, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks here?
Right.
And there's nothing over here holding it up.
Right.
Matter of fact, if this is a building, you just have one beam, one iron girder or a concrete pillar right here. Now, if it had hit a high pivot like this, yeah, there's a little bit of consolidation. There's a little bit of, bridge work right there. But this is nothing, and there's nothing here too. No structural, on the chart or price or anything. Tell me that wasn't computers or something. I mean, I'm not trying to put on the tinfoil hat, but there's no technical reason that stood the test of time right there.
Well,
and it did.
And here's the thing, Joe, is that, okay, so right here, over here to your left, that was like a major support area where you got your pivot line at, and it bounced hard off that. And so whoever bought right here was like, no. It's not, I'm not going to get stopped out. I'll just keep adding. Right? And so,
that's enough. Yeah.
And then they come back down here, and here we are. We're testing that level over to the left, and they're like, okay, is this the area? Okay, I've had enough. I'm not going down anymore. And so you would think, right, that we're going to go up. Now, if something comes out bad news-wise and it takes out this low, then, we'll see. Yeah. I think I got a feeling that there's somebody underneath that's going to pick it up. But
yeah, we might have a guardian angel out there.
Yeah.
But some people might have missed it at the start. We were talking about, I'm thinking that traders mainly are beginning to accumulate Litecoin if nothing else, for the simple reason it's going to hit Gemini very soon, maybe as early as, next week. The 1st of June, in other words.
Right.
So the next week, we could be sideways just like we were back here, just kind of up and down, just people, trying to keep it down and collect as much as they can for the next, major run.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, then back here, let me show you. This was Litecoin when it came out. I'm not, now, disclaimer, I'm not saying this is going to happen with Gemini, but would be nice. But this right here was consolidation, and then this is when it went to GDAX or Coinbase.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Coinbase.
Yeah. Wow.
What a move. So you double, triple, 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 times your money in less than a month. Well, just a couple of weeks, really.
Yeah.
So whenever they or it or whatever wants to run this thing, I can get up and get after you, get it going. So anyway, that's, if there's any questions on Litecoin, I think we about wore it out, but, if they have anything.
That's good stuff, Joe. Really good stuff right there, buddy. That's excellent. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? Ethereum, I guess, or let's see what the channel.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, wait a second. Let's see if anybody has any questions before you switch out.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions about Litecoin, guys? Any questions on Litecoin? I have to give it like about a 3 or 4 second delay here because.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't really. Yeah, I don't. Oh, paid it. Win the moon, huh? Okay, well, we'll see. Okay. All right, so we're going over to Ethereum. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, yeah, we're on as you can see, the weekly chart, and man, for all the Litecoin fans, I hate to say that ETH is strong. You know what I'm saying? Remember Litecoin is down in here, you know, getting ready to test that other, you know, that bottom, that higher high. You know, we need to keep it up, but, you know, Ethereum still has a long ways to go before it, you know, takes out its previous, you know, low. But anyway, so it's looking good. And it's, you know, still right here, just really just under that 12 EMA. But what I was going to say is, I just saw it. I didn't even notice it until I put the crosshairs down here. See where that hit? Now look over to the left. Look at all that.
I'm gonna move my mouse where you was talking, Joe, so if they can see it. So he was talking right here, and he's going over to here. Okay.
Yeah. See, that was what they call, you know, resistance here. It couldn't get through. There's 1, 2, 3 weeks. It couldn't get through. Right here, 1, 2, 3 weeks again, 6 weeks. Then you can say another, you know, 2 weeks here, and then 9. Finally, the 10th week. Well, a lot more weeks than that, or months, but you know what I'm saying. It tried for that many times to get up. And then what I'm getting at, this little, I need to start saying this, you know, each time we're talking up this little chart school stuff. These resistance areas. Once you break through, like right here, we broke through that, all that resistance right there. Once we break through, and then you come back down, guess what? 99% of the time, you're going to bounce off that previous resistance. It's now support, if that makes sense. So smart money was right in here, just easy, fast, smart money. That's all I can say. Sitting here on the bid at, you know, 360, 364, 365, whatever, right in here, and just, you know, took it all up to over 800, you know. Actually, you know, yeah, a little over 800. But anyway, that's just, I'll keep whenever I see something, I'll point it out to everybody, kind of, you know, show them. We can throw in a little chart tip here and there. And then let me swing over to the daily. And it had a, you know, depending on how you look at it, yeah, it had its fair share of dumping. And I guess there's a lot of reasons for that, but when it rallies hard. And it's pretty much closer to what I'm getting at now. It looks pretty strong. Right here, 1, 2, 3 days down, and see, it's following market timing almost to a T, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But see, I could see this if it falls any. Let's see, it came down and hit that. So if it does crater down some, I hope not. I think right here would be a little bit of resistance here. See that high pivot right here? I don't know if those crosshairs are coming in.
Yeah, I'm circling it with my mouse, Joe. Right there.
Okay. Yeah, about 533. Now I can't see what you're doing because I don't have everything up. I just have my chart.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah.
So, cool. Okay, so yeah, if it does take it down, I think, and then right over here, look, none of this is by accident. Okay, you got resistance here. Couldn't get through. Why couldn't it get through? Right here. Well, come over here. Look at all this, you know, support here. All this build up.
Yeah, congestion area.
Yeah, a lot of vibration right here. Then it went down for 2 days, and it just blew right through it. You know, but what it did, it did not have any red days, and then it made a technically, you know, a higher low. See, it kind of gassed up and then blew through it. Up there. So, but, you know, then down here where it hit, if you go, it's not letting me do it. But anyway, right here, if you look across, you know, you have this area over here instead of it. So it, you know, and what's going to be nice is it does start to rally. We're going to be able to see, okay, this is going to be a little dead zone up here, this high pivot, that's going to be one, you know, 800, 813 is going to be, you know, a little tension getting through there. maybe right in here too. So we could be calling this, kind of helping people there that, you know, hey, there might be a little sell off here, a little sell off there. And see right here where the mouse is, look, you look over to the left, boom, you have all this where it was hard to, you know, decide what it was going to do, up or down, up or down. So there's, again, a lot of trading here. You have this spot right here. So all those areas affect the price, obviously. You know, because,
hey Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt. You got a question in the channel. Corey Roberts is asking, how many LTC do you recommend? ? Is 1,200 enough? Asking for a friend. You're on the spot now, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, I'll tell you. What's your private key, and I'll let you know. Let me confirm that, you know. So, anyway, no, that's a good question. Man, what do you say to that? Man, I think he's doing good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to, you know, that's, if it, you know, I don't want this channel or us to end up, you know, and we have never done that. Even when you and I were talking privately, we never have said, oh, you know, we're going to, you know, 10 million, you know, Bitcoin in 3 months or something. And I think we're both realists. And yeah, you know what? I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, I'd love to see it $1,000. I'd love to see, you know, Big Square says, and a couple other guys, Cliff High, you know, I stole this from them. They're saying at some point it's going to be, you know, 20%, you know, 1/5, whatever of Bitcoin.
Right.
And maybe, you know, you know, who knows? This time last year, let me see, where were we? This time last year, you know, we're less than $100 on Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know, so who would have thought, you know, would have gone up to, you know, over $1,000, you know, nearly $1,400. Under $100 over $1,400, you know, who would have thought that? But I tell you what, you know, my mission in life, I mean, not mission in life, but, you know, I kind of exaggerate. My deal this time around is to help folks when we start hitting, supposedly, you know, 20,000 Bitcoin again, 30, 35,000, 50,000, whatever. You know, I'm just throwing that out there for this reason. That we help, and I'm sure you've seen it on my Twitter account. Mm-hmm. I'm already telling people who are trying to cycle up to, you know, be ready emotionally for those high numbers. I mean, when you get enough to pay off your house, are you going to sell out and go, hey, man, let me take my chips off the table, you know, let me pay off my house,
Yep,
you know, that's something you might want to think. Yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff you might want to be thinking about now. Then also, you and I are going to be on here, you know, we're not giving financial advice today. We're just for entertainment reasons only. But, you know, I will be throwing us a chart saying, hey, this is where I'm taking a little off the top, you know, and then I might get flamed up on Twitter or something, but holding, you know, that's, I don't know. I think you probably need to hold, you know, keep some in your back pocket for sure, but there's got to be a percentage that you trade. I'm just saying, you know, if nothing else, to add more coins to your collection.
Right.
You know, even on this downtrend, a lot of people, there was 1 million people throwing up charts, 1 million people that had trading rooms that were charging people big time money, and all that's gone now. And you know what? During the boom period, during the boom period, you could, you know, like in the stock market, you just throw a dart and you're going to look like a hero, you know, making people money.
Mm-hmm.
It's during this downtrend and, you know, trying to call these peaks and valleys and then, you know, and then calling the rallies and stuff like that and helping people gain coins. There's people out there making money in this soft market, I promise you. And so anyway, that's kind of what we want to eventually convey to people and have people work through.
Well,
you know?
And here's the other thing too, is that, you know, I've tried to preach this quite a bit too, is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a position in something and then selling it at a certain point and get some money off the table. Take a profit when you have it, but leave a little bit out there just in case it does go to the moon, but then also still have it just in case it goes to the downside, and then you can re-add your position. There's nothing wrong with swing trading something. Don't sit there and just buy something and expect, okay, well, I'm going to buy it at 200 and it's going to go to 400 next week. There are no guarantees in this market. Zero guarantees.
Right. Yeah, and even if you, let's say today you bought back in, which might have been pretty darn smart, go ahead and have a stop loss below today's close or something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's where people also get caught in the mix. They buy in, and then, you know, it's down the next day, and then it's down the next day, and they go, well, you know, I'm only down, you know, a couple $100. Then it gets $400, and then it gets to a point psychologically it's going, okay, I'm down so much, I might as well just ride it on down, you know, because if I sell right now, it'll go back up. So, you know, there's 300 down, 500 down, 800 down, 1,200 down, and then, you know, you have a situation like yesterday where people just finally, I think some of that also is retail investors, you know, just going, okay, I can't handle anymore. And then what did it do today? It rebounded, you know. So, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm saying is your first loss is always going to be your smallest loss. Okay, the first time you look at your portfolio, and that's something else, and you buy something, anybody can buy something. It's the, you know, how you make money is knowing when to sell it, you know, or how to sell it. You don't have to sell all of it at once. You take a third. I'll just go ahead and be honest with you. Maybe we could do like a little webinar free thing, whatever, some Saturday, and I'll, you know, you can tell your trading deal, and I can tell mine, but, you know, I'm like taking a third, and a third.
Right.
Off, chips off the table as it's going down. A third once it closes under the 12 EMA,
right.
A third once it closes under the 20, and then if it's under the 50, that's a bear market. I'm out altogether, you know, and I'm just watching for the, you know, the little baby rallies or whatever. So that's why they play the stock market. And a lot of this is very, very close to trading the stock market, you know, except it just moves a whole lot quicker 24/7. You know, that's probably the biggest difference. But you know, the high pivots, the low pivots, the resistance, the support levels, and everything, all that's the same. Because you know what it's all based on out of? It's all based on, I don't care how many high frequency computers they have, algorithms, wells, anything else. Bottom line, you know, until humans are completely, you know, out of the picture, which I don't ever see that, at least in my lifetime, in the trading world, it's always going to be based on fear and greed. You know, and greed out does everything, you know. But anyway, that's enough rambling on.
Well, it's the psychology of the market. And, you know, I was there 20 years ago. You know, you can't help it but get involved in just, you see a big, you know, people look at charts, okay? Everybody looks at a chart or something or a price, and they see it just going crazy. You know, it's up 20%. Oh, my gosh. And they look at their phone or they look at whatever, and their account's up huge, and, oh, it's going to double again. It's going to, you know, and they're thinking rich thoughts in their mind. And in reality, they ought to be just selling right there. Just sell it. Sell half of it or 3/4. Just take your profits, folks. I mean, there is nothing wrong with taking profits. I mean, I think the millionaire once said, and I think I heard him, is that I sold too soon. I think that's what he said. That's what the millionaire said. The millionaire said I sold too soon.
Wow.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Man. Well, I know, and it makes you, also it just helps you psychologically, take some green off too. Even if you just sell 4 or 5 coins, hey, I made some money on this. And that's another deal. If people want to swing trade or whatever, okay, if you can't swing trade $100, seriously, $100, how are you going to swing trade 10,000 or 100,000?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same emotions. I have the same emotions, whether it's, $1 or whatever. So, yeah, trust me, it's the same emotions, the same feel, it's the same, what am I thinking? It's the same, degenerate gambler rush that you get, no matter what price it is. So practice with $100. Go to one of these little altcoins, whatever, a few cents, and put $100 in there, get you a few thousand shares, and make you feel good, and then trade in and out, and see how you did, and learn from that. I'd rather lose. And don't let pride and ego get in the way. Most people go, well, I need a few thousand to get in the game. No, you don't. You need maybe $100, a few $100, whatever, and practice on that. And just like an old trader told me, I was saying, man, I need 4 or 5 monitors like you. And he said, man, if you can't trade on one monitor, how are you going to trade on using 4 or 5 monitors?
Right. Goodness.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's people have to, and I try to put this across too. You have to define what type of trader you are. Are you short-term scalper, like day trader looking at every hour chart? Or are you a swing trader every 3 to 4 days or a week or maybe even up to 2 weeks? Or are you a long-term hodler that is just going to wait until it goes to the moon? So you have to define what you are, but within that context, within that context, though, you still have to define where you're getting in and where you're getting out. So you have to come up with a plan, okay? You have to go, okay, well, if I'm buying this here, and if it goes to here or below where I got, you have to set and control your losses, right? You can't go broke. That's the #1 rule. So if it goes below this point where I'm thinking, I'm going to get out. But if it goes up to this point, that's where I'm selling, and you have to stick to it. You cannot deviate away from that, and that's where most people get in trouble, and that's why 97% of people that try to do
down to the emotions and the ego. Like you buy in at a certain level, and then you think, well, it ought to go to this point. A lot of times it doesn't go to that point. It goes halfway or something, and you got to say, okay, that's all she wrote, and get the heck out. But yeah, different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
There's people that are comfortable holding, but if you're going to hold it, then be ready for the ups and downs. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Just be ready. But anyway, I'm sure they want to look at another chart or something. Or
let me ask them here, guys. Do you want Joe to pull up another chart? What do you want to look at? I have really got to figure out how to. I spent about 2 hours trying to figure out how to fix my delay on YouTube here. Let's see. Anybody? Charts? Anybody? Or general discussion?
Yeah, if you want
to, everybody's
kind of fucked up on DigiBuy. I pulled up. I just pulled up some of the popular altcoins.
There you go. Okay.
And anyway, I don't know if y'all can see this, but in the that little gold line, long-term trend line, and it came down here and it consolidated. You know, all of a sudden it just stopped. It went all the way down here. Okay, let me back up. Okay, whenever you get these long, okay, everybody's talking about, not everybody, but okay, these candlesticks, there's like a million things going through my head, and I'm trying to, you know,
it's all good.
Slow it down, you know. Anyway, this candle right here, lots of people think you have to know all about these candlesticks because each one represents something a little different. You don't have to read a 300-page book on candlesticks and candlestick trading. You just have to know literally 2 or 3 little patterns, candlesticks, and you're good to go. And this one right here, whenever it trades down like this, all that was red at one time. All this was red. And then everybody came in and bought it back up and turned it green up here. Well, there's a high percent, and nothing's guaranteed. These are just high percentage plays, okay? There's a high percentage of time that the price is going to continue up, okay? So that's one deal. That's what I wanted to bring this to your attention. And then after a big sell-off like this, whenever it stops and starts going sideways, that means somebody's in there, some group's in there that, you know, stop the selling by buying more or something. You know what I'm saying? They're buying it right there, consolidating.
Excellent point.
And then as soon as it breaks that trend line, that's when it'll take off. Now, what's weird about this is that technically it'll break out and then it'll come back and test that line. So we should have had like a day or two of red candles that came back and hit that line and then went up. And a lot of times they'll do that to fake people out, you know, a head fake. They'll break it out to the upside and then they'll come back and those people go, oh no, you know, selling off, so they sell the shares and then, you know, the second or third day they'll run it back up. But anyway, that's just no trick. And then they'll, you know, run it back up. And then as we can see, as it came up again, see right here, that's where people were selling because of that. You have like a stone wall there. That was support for a while. Boom, 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 boom. Then it finally broke and it went down. Now that support is what? Going to be the opposite. Now it's going to be resistance. So we had 2, 3, 4 days of resistance, and then it finally popped back up, if all that makes sense. So, and then now we're in that, and what do you call that?
Bull flag. That is a bull flag, yeah. Baby. Big time.
Now, see, a lot of people think, oh, that's bearish. That's bearish. That thing's going down. Yeah, it is, but for whatever price reason, psychology or whatever, it'll hit. Because they already hit it 1, 2, 3. Maybe the 4th time it'll pop up. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe on the 4th one, should be the next time it hits this, should pop through. Now I put that line up here, that purple dash line, because that was the top. That was the high resistance. But now, really, I haven't been on this chart in a few days, as you can see. So I'm going to pull that down to right here. I'll see right here is your resistance. 1, 2, 3 days it could get through it. So that'll be, once it gets up there, if it gets over it, comes back and tests it, it's a run. You know,
big time. Yeah. Somebody asked me last night. They said, so do you know, is this thing gonna moon, you know, or whatever? And I'm like, okay, Digibyte is at 3 cents in American dollars, right? It's at 3 cents. I'm not of the opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but I'm not sitting here saying that Digibyte's going to $1 or $2.
Right.
Okay? This is not going to happen overnight. Now, 3-4 years down the road, possibly, but this is one of those that you know, you get a chance to be in early. They've got a great product, they've got a great team, and I just wish I've been bitching about this, and I'm sorry to curse a little bit, but I wish they would get on more exchanges to let more people around the world trade it.
Liquidity. I'm glad you brought that up. That's something people need to look at whenever they're looking at these different coins like this. Well, first first of all, that's Digibyte. Now, that's one I wouldn't mind somebody going, hey, I bought, 10,000 shares, and I'm going to hold it for 3-4 years. My kid's just starting high school next year, and I'm going to hold it until they graduate or something. That,
yeah.
Not that I'm a, financial planner or anything. I would say, yeah, that's fine. You don't have too much money wrapped up in all that. But, there's some people out there on other channels that have people that can kind of see out into the future, all right, without getting too crazy here.
Yeah.
And, they're saying dollars, but let me be more realistic because this has already happened. In 2013, was it? Litecoin, I want to say was in the cents. I think it was 2013. It was under $1.
Yeah.
And you see where it is today. So, anything is possible. But
anything is. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Litecoin had, Charlie Lee, one of the top engineers, in my opinion, blockchain and everything out there, building it, working on number one, number two. It's a heck of a platform and all the technology and everything. So it had a lot of things going for it and backing it up. And then also, it's on nearly every exchange out there. Any exchange that is an exchange, except for Gemini, has Litecoin on it.
Sure.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. That's the three. It's like in Texas, you walk into any restaurant, they're going to have sweet tea. You know what I mean? So,
no doubt.
That's just one of the staples.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, Coke, and sweet tea. You're going to have them. But anyway, one more thing on this, and I'll show you. Let's say it does take off next month, Digibyte, okay? And I've already put these lines on here because I know right here, let me blow this up a little bit. Boom. That's going to be resistance because that's going to be a wall. And probably some sellers because, you had this boom, all this resistance couldn't get through it. And right here, these 2 days. So I'm already prepared. That's going to be maybe a little bit of an issue.
Okay, so Joe, real quick, what price is that? Because people may not be able to see it, but what price are you showing?
Oh, that's 0.068.
Oh, you're looking at you're looking at USD. Okay, you're looking at USD.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
Yeah, 7 cents.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it was 0.068, but it's not going to run to exactly 0.068. I guarantee it's going to hit 7 cents on the money. So I would be putting this. That's just me. I'm going to be putting the stop loss at 7 cents for a little bit, maybe get a little bit of a pullback. And then, maybe a couple of cents, and then the next area is, let's just call it 8 cents right here, because you're looking at all this vibration, all this trading on here that it couldn't get through. See, it couldn't get through here, then it had to pull back and run up. And your biggest, sell-off area is going to be at 12 cents, 13 cents.
Yeah.
I would say 13 cents, 12.8. Yeah, that was the top, and it really, and what's weird, it kind of was trading right along with the big boys, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's trading almost tick for tick.
It does. Digibyte follows Bitcoin very well. It really does. But lately, if you'll notice, though, during this downtrend on Bitcoin, which was a pretty good little sell, Digibyte's been holding up pretty darn well.
Yeah, right in here. You're not kidding. Look at all this. It's right in here.
Oh, yeah. Somebody is accumulating. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hint. Yeah. And as you see, it got below it, but it popped back up, got below, and hopefully stay above it. But if you look right to the edge, there's support right here because it couldn't get through. That was resistance, so now it's support. Mm-hmm. And right here it's support. It didn't drop through it. If you keep going over, look what you're dealing with here. There's a lot of, accumulation, trying to get it. So that right where we are is 3.5, so just say 3.5 cents. saying. I'm just saying that might be a good little, coins there, at that price. But
well, what's funny about your chart is that it almost resembles mine. I mean, it's almost like to the T. I mean, I've got so I pulled mine up here, and we'll see if it pops up.
Now you're talking about you're using fibs on it, or are you using?
Yeah, I'm using fibs, and not only that, but that bull flag that you put in there.
Yeah.
And I did this on Twitter. I don't have it on here, but I've got this. It's almost like a wedge. It's like a pennant, but it's within a bigger pennant. And so right now, what's killing it is that 78.6 retracement, and then the top of that wedge. It's like if it can break that. I mean, if it can get into the what do I got here? If it can get into the almost 500, let's just say if it can get over 500, I mean, this thing could really make a big time move. And I can't remember if I put a fib extension on it to equal the move that it made from the low to the high, but there's still a lot of resistance on this thing, but it could blow through this resistance very easily if it can get past this. I mean, it's going to be choppy. It's not going to be easy, but it's still, in my opinion, it's a good long-term hold. Long-term.
Oh yeah. I don't have any problem with that one. And then there's I don't know, been a lot of talk with OMG.
Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. Let me interrupt real quick. Yeah. Somebody else wanted you to look at XLM. Mayor.
Oh, yeah, I had that.
Yeah, Mayor wanted you to look at XLM.
Okay, I'm going to do it Bitfinex at the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to put it up like that, just easier for me to...
Oof.
Okay, I don't know what I'm looking at here, really. The way I would get in this thing we were on the right road right here. It made a low, it came up. Now, if it made like right here, this candle here,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see my mouse or whatever.
I'll put my mouse over it. It's right there.
Yeah. If it would have stopped here and then made a higher high, came up here, above this high,
mm-hmm.
and then kept going. That's what you're going to look for.
Sure.
So right now, it's, in my opinion, it's probably really not a play. But if it would come up and then, make a higher low, which a red candle up, and you'd be okay, and then green candle, maybe, and then your second higher low, maybe get in on the next one, and then also I like maybe putting something like, I don't know, this real.
Oh, you had it.
Below
right
this one.
There you go. Yeah, that looks good right there.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, and that's just kind of to eyeball it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it comes up, gets over that. What's it going to do? I can tell you what it's going to do. It's going to come up, hit the trend line, maybe come down, hit it, maybe retest it, and then take off.
Well, and here's the thing: don't you love how this moving average just follows that trend line?
I didn't even notice it until you did it.
That is just. That moving average, is that your 20-day moving average?
Oh, well, the red is. This was just that 12.
Is that the 12?
EMA, because that's what they use on GDEX.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
isn't that amazing? It follows that trend line. That's crazy.
Yeah. But, that's what I would do. I'd wait until I got past that. So, 31 cents, I would say, in the back of your mind, if it gets into the 30s, get a hold of us, JR and myself, and once it gets into the 30s, it should be over that trend line.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see, if it'll come back and hit it and then take off, or maybe it'll just take off. It starts following the market. But anyway, that's how I'd probably play that.
Yeah.
Then another one, I haven't looked at this in a minute.
ADA.
But,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people are in ADA, but see that thick blue line that I already have on there?
Yeah.
See, I put it right here because that's the pivot low. See that red candle?
Mm-hmm.
It came down and hit a lot of, basic support there, support here with this vibration, and through here. I don't know. But see, it came down and had a green. That's just just saying. That's just kind of weird how it works, Now, that's not to say that it won't fall through it, but you should have some consolidation there for a few days. And if it gets strong enough, if the market takes off in June next week or so, you could have another pop in this sucker.
Yeah.
And this line, I don't know why it's way over there, but I need to bring it back. And that reason why I had that purple dash line, that low here, that's going to be resistance. And then as you see, it came down and it came to that pivot low, which is now support, hit it, bounced off of it, but you just want enough buyers to come in.
Yeah.
And then, so now when it goes, I want to get rid of these others. So now when it gets ready to go back up, that's going to be a little bit of resistance. So because you have all this chatter right here, it's got to break through, that resistance. So anyway, kind of how you play ADA or wood. And then right here it's going to be a little bit of, it's going to be sell-off. And now in stocks, the reason why these pivots are sell-offs is there's always somebody that bought right up here. As soon as that price gets there, they go, oh, thank goodness, they, sell off and, you're off to the races. Back down. And then, OMG, I'm just throwing out some that are more, the more popular kids in school, you know what I'm saying? These folks earlier in these. That OMG, you can see I drew that line. I was hoping it would, I thought that was going to be a retest sticking candle, this wedge. High percentage play that'll break out and run hard. It broke out. I saw that red. I go, okay, no big deal. They're going to come back and retest that line. They retested it was like one deep. So we knew that wasn't going to work. So, but anyway, normally it'll be a day or two of the retest, and then this candle and this candle, these three candles would be way up here by now. It's how it generally,
Yeah, exactly. That's when you know you got something wrong with it, and that's,
right,
yeah.
When it breaks down.
Oh yeah.
And these, and then when they break up, they're good, but when they break down, they're and that's patience. You know what I'm saying? I should put that back up there for a second. And when it crossed that pivot line, that downtrend line, we got that green right here.
Yeah.
A lot of people that greed again, and everyone's been there, would have bought in. And let's just go over some psychology right now.
They got
smoked.
They got smoked is what happened. They just, somebody was...
Yeah,
they got smoked.
Yeah, right. They bought in a little early and went all in. That's another thing, you need to kind of ladder in your trades. But anyway, it broke out, and they go, I guarantee you there's, it's indicated down here much. Well, there's a little, let's see. Now you can't even see the volume. I was expecting a big, something like that volume. I was surprised it didn't pull a lot of people in breaking that. That's a good trap. Got people going. But, it's generally good, especially since it's sold off. See that wick? That's another indicator. Okay, that wick right here, you can see it sewed down. Now, if that green was all the way to the top and there was one solid green candle like this, maybe, not that big. Well, no, this is a perfect one right here. If there was one like this all the way to the top, the closer it is to the top, that's telling you that's a high percentage is going to keep going the next day, okay?
Yeah.
did, and it kind of slowed back down, and then the next day it did too. So that was probably a good indicator it was going to drop. But OMG, I think it's going to be one of the studs on the team, before the end of the year. The way all the adoption is and all the talk and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's another thing else. If you don't mind me rambling here a second, about cryptos here to stay. When the federal government goes, IRS goes, hey, we want to start taxing them. You can bet anytime the government gets a new revenue stream, they're going to keep it. I've never heard of them, eliminating a tax or whatever. I mean, there might have been a case here and there I don't know about, some small town, but once they start taxing something, it's generally a lifer. That's number one. Number two, just the technology and everything kind of speaks for itself. And then number three is the currency in which, a year ago, putting on a tinfoil hat again, it doesn't matter. Like, what made me think of it? OMG. Supposedly, this thing is up and going overseas, and then it can even be in the U.S. I'll use the U.S. as an example. Okay, your sharecroppers, your migrant workers, your yard man, your day employees, whatever, what are they called? Labor people, temporary services.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Temps.
Yeah, farm workers, farm hands, all these people kind of working out of their truck, so to speak, or whatever. These cryptos, if they start painting cryptos, that's when the government's wanting to do this, they're going to be able to track that. And little Johnny, they got paid for mowing Miss Brown's, grass, he might be paying some taxes on that. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? So they're going to be able to track, as soon as they take fiat currency away from us, and I'm not saying that's ever going to happen, but it's going to be interesting because, if all these companies can get their employee a wallet on their phone, they can pay them the same day. That's the whole thing with OMG. These day workers or contractors, migrant workers, whatever, people picking vegetables, fruits. But at the end of the day, they have, on these to go, however many in their wallet on their phone.
Yeah.
So they can walk off, and start buying stuff right then and there. But the only deal is that it's being tracked, if it's in the U.S., by the IRS, and they're going to, who knows, the IRS might take their, cut out of it, before you get it. Who knows how they'll set it up.
Exactly.
Or through the company, company goes, okay, we're sending out, $10,000 today in manual labor, and the IRS goes, okay, let's go ahead and get, I need my part today too,
Right.
But just to say that, I don't know if I could actually do that because everybody's little tax plan is a little bit different for us. Maybe you're, if you're at the 20, 25, 30% tax bracket or whatever, so.
Yeah.
As I'm saying that, I'm kind of saying, well, maybe not. But anyway, eventually the government's going to be able to get their piece of the pie of this, and they're going to be able to get a lot more of the piece of the pie than they are now. There's no telling how many, literally, probably in the billions of dollars in the U.S. Over the table, whatever cash transactions for labor,
Well, it's not just the government. Wall Street wants to get their hands in this pie bigger than anybody else. I mean, that's the guys right there. I mean, and that's what's really going on when you sit here and think about, the news that we're seeing and regulations and whatnot. It's a slow process, but they're all wanting to get their hands into this pie. So,
right. Mm-hmm. yeah, especially Wall Street. And that's another thing that tells me these things, are here to stay. Because these guys are going out trying to get into these exchanges, trying to, and that's why the Winklevoss twins, Gemini, Coinbase. I mean, people put Coinbase down and stuff, and I'm probably the biggest, hater on Coinbase, for a few reasons. But anyway, but these guys are going to be hard to beat because they're getting all the legalese done. They're getting their attorneys in there. They're smoozing, the SEC, the New York Stock Exchange, and whoever else. And they're going to get some big players in there, and then it's going to turn into Wall Street Junior. And what I think is going to happen is that everything Wall Street touches, they send it, literally to the moon. They ramp it up to the biggest bubble you've ever seen. They did it with tech, they did it with the housing, and they're doing it again with the stock market. Mm-hmm. And everything they touch, eventually they do run up to the biggest bubble the world's ever seen. And this might be their new playground, and where the money's going to be made, just like I used this analogy the other day, that where the money was made consistently in the gold rush was selling the picks and shovels and equipment. Now you did have a few guys out there that made their millions or whatever, but I'm sure they were far and in between. And then you had the guys that made some pretty good hits, maybe not in the millions, but they made pretty good hits for what the dollar was back then. But majority of people, just like in trading, lost their butt. But to even get out there, what did you have to do? You had to buy your tents, your picks, your shovels. So those stores made consistent money. Now I compare that analogy to the exchanges. That's where the consistent. Why do you think there's a million exchanges out there across the world?
Absolutely.
And every time you turn,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I had the money, the liquidity to do it, that's what I'd do. I'd get a little exchange up and going because you're making money 24/7. Even though it's maybe a tenth of a cent here, all that adds up. You get millions of. I still call them shares, millions of coins traded.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
A minute, an hour, or whatever. So that's where it's going. And those guys wouldn't be dumping that much money into these exchanges and buying. Matter of fact, I see, exchanges buying other exchanges. I think there's going to be we might end up with just a half dozen exchanges in the whole world someday.
I totally agree. I think they're going to condense this thing down. You're going to see, and what's really sad is you're going to see a lot of people get hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like the .com days back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And people are going to lose their lunch. I mean, that's what's going to happen. But if you're playing it right and you play it safe and just stick with the strong, stick with the majors, and I say that, and there may be a major that takes a fall. I mean, it happens,
right?
But
it could be a Gemini or a Bitfinex or a Binance or a Coinbase, but I think they're going to go on there. Eventually, there's going to be an Amazon of the crypto as far as exchanges.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And it's going, and it might get bloody doing it. You know what I mean?
Well,
anyway,
who was it? I posted on Twitter, or was it Twitter? I think. But there was Bank of America has been. Have you been watching what Bank of America is doing with their patents? They are getting all kinds of patents on cryptocurrency. As far as how they're going to do it and set it up. I mean, Bank of America is taking the lead on this thing. They're not sitting on their butt. They're going for it.
Yeah, it's just like the people that were in the the check cashing business or whatever, or writing checks, and they started seeing, the debit cards and stuff come out.
And then the ATM machines and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they had to figure out another deal. And just saying, I knew a guy that had a business, it was something to do with the payphones, seriously.
Right.
And when he saw this stuff, he had to, switch strategies and get into another deal. But he's rocked and rolling with those payphones.
Yeah.
But man, I don't think you could buy one right now. You know what I'm saying? You go out looking for one. So, and that's another thing. See how there were people that said, "Oh, I'll never use a computer." Well, this, back in my generation, I'll never use a computer. Why do I have to do this? Even who was it? IBM or one of the big companies. Their CEO said, there's no reason for more than 3 supercomputers in the world.
Right.
And his company was building computers, and I think it was IBM, Watson. I think Watson said that. Now everybody's, even kids in school have, what used to be huge computers, right there on their phone. But anyway, how they got everyone kind of sort of addicted to smartphones, and that's definitely not going away. So they'll slowly roll this out, so that sooner or later you're not going to be able to use a payphone, or it's just not going to be there. Meaning, the currency. There's, everybody's going to be wanting the digital currency, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You can pay this, and this. But I doubt it'll be over. Can't be over now. You can't transition, that quick.
Mm-hmm.
That major of a deal. But it'll slowly take hold. And then another thing, when this stuff starts, the best way to get it going, if that's the direction they want to go, and all indicators point towards it, that they want to go, cryptocurrency, is to make it cool, popular, and the propaganda media can do that.
Oh, yeah.
They're the best salespeople in the world,
No doubt.
And then we start running it up, and that's what happened in November, December. Man, there were people telling people, it was almost like a multi-level marketing deal, and people were getting in hands over fists. Remember, Coinbase had to shut down, and Gemini shut down. There's a number of exchanges that it would have gone up higher than what it did if they didn't shut down. Now, I don't know if they shut down because really, truly, their technology couldn't, the exchange couldn't keep up with the buys. That could have been it. They might have underestimated the number of people coming in over that short period of time, because they were dealing with thousands of new apps, a day. Or they were slowing it down because they didn't want Bitcoin running up to $100,000, in 30 days.
Yeah.
So,
I've got. I went ahead and just. We got 3 people in here in the channel. They just kind of, people are doing stuff or whatever. Right. So we got 12. We had 12 or 14 at one point. So that's good. Yeah, but I went ahead and pulled up, and I don't know if you can see it, but I pulled up a Bitcoin 4-hour chart, and that bottom that we made, there's like a bullish engulfing candle, right?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me pull that out on something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about that one overnight. Yeah, about 7 in the morning.
There's a bullish engulfing, and then it got confirmed by another green candle right after it. So that's a legitimate bottom right there. That's a legitimate bottom. Now, of course, could it retrace a little bit? Yeah, and it tried, but you see these long wicks that's coming out, these small...
They brought it back up. Each time. Yeah, and each time, you're right, and each time that they try to reconfirm
the
back
bottom.
to the bottom.
Exactly.
It's a shorter one. Yeah, each one of those tails are shorter. Yeah.
And so this is part of the thing where I think it's going to go sideways just a little bit, at least for the next, probably tomorrow at some point, we'll probably see, a move. I mean, that 20-day moving average is going to hook down a little bit more. But if this price comes up, it'll flatten it out. And it could affect that 50 and flatten it out. But I think this area right up here where I got the fibs, it's a 23.6 and a 38 point, 23.6 and a 38.6 right here. What is that? 7,900. I think we're headed to 7,900. And then we'll see what happens there. And what I would really like to see is maybe it hit that, bounce down just a little bit, and then try to move up to the upside. But this is actually looking pretty good. This is actually looking really good for Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, man, I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. Yeah, because each one of those are inside the other one.
Yeah, they are. That's an inside candle.
Yeah, inside.
But that is a big time. That's a bullish engulfing candle right there. It just overtook the previous day selling and then confirmed it.
Yeah, and it even closed above it, just a few dollars, but
that's all it takes, though. Yeah. Yeah, and then you notice when it tried to come down, the volume was really low.
Right.
So you had a big buyer right here that overtook this guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Bigger volume on this candle, so that's right there is the one to watch. And just below it is where I've got that, and it didn't hit it exactly, but I had that fib extension. I've got a 78.6 and a 261.8 retracement that all three or four lined up in one spot, and it did not quite get there, but it got close, So I think this thing could go sideways to up, and then we'll see what happens at 7,900. I think that's kind of the play.
Gotcha.
And then not only that, but look over here, and we see this, and we're big fans of it. But back over here at 7,900, that was a low, and it bounced and went up and made a rally, and then it broke back below it. So that's going to be resistance right there where the fib cluster is.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's like a pivot point. Like you would, I know you, and you would draw that blue line from right there all the way across, and you would say, "Okay, that's our resistance." But it's amazing how those fibs line up with old resistance points. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Well, all righty. You about wore me out. Here going over all this stuff.
Oh, I know, right? I think it was at least nobody was really, they weren't complaining about the video or the sound, so it looks like it was a success. Good. I think this was a success. So. And I like doing stuff like this, but
and I don't know, you're kind of held accountable, kind of sort of. We could do this, in our own house, taking a look at stuff on the computer and whatnot, but until you speak it and put it in front of people, I don't know, it's kind of an accountability deal. So you better be pretty spot on, you know what I'm saying, or you're going to get called on it, and you better know what you're talking about, because there's a lot of...
But here's the thing, Joe, is that we're not professionals, okay? We're not professionals. But I've been in this for 20 years. You've been in this for a long time. I think we pretty much know what we're talking about. Are we going to be perfect? No, we're not going to be perfect. So, it's one of those things. You just have to, people have to, we can give you areas to look at. We're not going to recommend that you buy or sell at those points. But you can make your own decision do your own research, and then define your risk. Are you willing to risk where we define what support and resistance is? And then you go from there, and hopefully you make a ton of money, and then you tip us a bunch down the road or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, we're here for you guys. So
absolutely.
You know, we want you guys to not make the same mistakes.
I'm just thinking that. You stole the thought out of my head. That's a good point.
I want you guys to make $1 million. I mean, that's my goal. If you guys make $1 million, I'm happy. And just call me up and say, hey, JR, that call you made and blah, 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 I'm making, or Joe, hey, you guys made that call and I made $2 million. I'm happy for you. I'm in. I mean, all you have to do is buy me a plane ticket out to the party somewhere. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So,
or even make a house payment. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
or a house payment. Something like that. Whatever. I mean, or buy me a 12-pack of beer. I don't care. But that's what we're here for. We just want to educate people and try to help them, and I wish more people, and it'll come. Is that I just want to see more people throw in what they want to look at. Oh, wait a second.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Joe, are you getting ready to go to bed? If you are, that's fine. I'll take over. Somebody wants to look at DGB again. And I can do this one. That's fine. No worries.
All right. Well, I got some, work stuff I got to do before the mornings I'm prepared.
Absolutely.
But, I appreciate it. Hey, this is our first rodeo coming out doing this, and I appreciate you hooking it up and doing all the behind the scenes deal and everything. I just had to show up on time, so I had to do it. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, we'll do this again maybe in a couple of days. I mean, we're not going to do this every night and wear everybody out, because people will get that's saying the same thing, blah blah blah. But but anyway, well, Joe, you have a good night, and I'll take over from here. And
you too.
I'm sure I'll probably lose my whole audience now that you're leaving. So.
No. I'll be touching base with you in the room or whatever.
Absolutely.
On Telegram. Okay.
All right, Joe. All right. Have a good evening, buddy. All right.
Bye. Bye.
Okay. Let me get to DGB first. All right, let me expand this out. Okay, this is what I posted on Twitter. It's a 4-hour chart, but if you look at these yellow lines where my mouse is going, okay, that's a wedge pattern. I mean, it tried to get above it right here, but that 78.6 retracement kicked it down. So it's not quite ready yet. But here's the deal, is that it's also forming a bull flag, okay, within this wedge pattern. So one would have to think that, I mean, this is the way I would play it, but, you got your 50% retracement down here, okay? That would be your stop loss, okay? If you was to buy it right now, or if I was to buy it right here, my risk is down here, below that 50% retracement. Okay? What we're having problems with is getting out of this wedge. If it does, then you're going to break this, hopefully, this downtrend line and get up here and maybe get up to the mid 500s, 550. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I could be totally wrong. I mean, it depends on if it can get past this, because if it can't and it hooks down, then we could fall all the way back down here to 400. So just be aware. Does that help? Oops, let me get out of that. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Somebody wanted to look at... what else? Let's see. What does Joe see in December? What does Joe see in December? I can't remember what he said about long term. I think we were kind of on the same page that if this broke out, that it's going to go higher, but we're not in the camp that it's like going to go from 3 cents to $1 overnight, or even maybe within the next 6 months. I mean, we could be totally wrong, but I think it's a good 2 to 3 year hold. I mean, but I think he also said that, and mentioned, and it's a good point, is that Litecoin was in the pennies at one time, and it got listed on Coinbase, and it took it through the roof. So if Digibyte was lucky enough to get listed on Coinbase, you can only imagine what might happen. So I'll leave it at that. But for me, it's a long-term hold. I'm not, it's not one of those that I'm looking to day trade. I'll swing trade it, sure. I mean, why not? You got these swings that can last a week or two. Why not buy it at a high and sell it at a low until it gets out of this pattern, So kind of makes sense. Somebody else wanted to see something. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't Digibyte. Let me look back. Oh, RDD. Hang on. Didn't RDD have some news or something today? Yeah, hey, Roy, did RDD have news or something? I could have sworn somebody told me about RDD having news. Okay, let's see. So, wow, this thing just gets some wild spikes out of nowhere. That really makes it... Let's see, let's just do this. Okay. Yeah, you may want to just like Google it or something. I think somebody told me there was some kind of news. I can't remember who it was with. Oh, gosh. You'll have to forgive me. I'm kind of drawing a blank on what the news was. Okay, so there's one fib retracement right there. All right, this is a 4-hour chart. Let's go out to a daily. Hey, Roy, are you looking to hold long-term, or like are you just looking to get a quick profit out of it? Like a swing trade? Swing trade. All right. So let me swing back over here to the 4-hour. Okay. God, kind of makes me mad. I took my eyes off RDD. I was really wanting to see it. I mean, because it was up here and I saw it dropping, and I was like, "Wow!" I wanted to get some, but I wanted to get it a little lower. But anyway, it's in a good spot right now. Are you holding right now, and where did you get in at? If you don't mind my asking, I'm sorry if that's private. You don't have to tell me. But anyway, you've got resistance up here at the 50% retracement. You can see where it made this big spike and hit the 200-day moving average. And so this area right up here, okay. And I think that is, if my eyeballs are working, is that 97? Yeah, 97. 97 area is where you want to get past. Right now it's testing the 50-day moving average. And I would only say, here's the thing with, here's the thing. Okay. Is that we can all remember back here where these smaller moving averages were hooking down and they were acting as resistance, right? So when they start hooking up, that drives price higher, right? Okay? Until you get to a major moving average that can either stop it or help it. So here we go, is that it made this big move down, and now you've got your smaller moving averages, the 10 and the 20, that are hooking up. Okay? Right here. They're hooking up. And this last move down, and it bounced and put in a big green candle, was off those smaller moving averages. Right? But it has to get past that 50-day moving average, which technically I think it will. Let me throw back in the 38.2. Hang on. There we go. So, I mean, I think it's headed to 93. Pretty much. I mean, that's here before too long. I think you're going to have another. It'll chop around a little bit, right? Only because that 50-day moving average is in the way, and then you got a 38.2. The good side of this is that you've got the 200-day moving average up here that was hooking up, and now it went flat, and now it almost looks like it's trying to hook back up again. So this thing could make it all the way to 97, but basically what you want to do is just kind of ride it up, you know. Define your risk, take a little off the table when it gets to a certain area, maybe take, you know, half off at 93, or, you know, take half off at 93, see what happens, and if it dips, you could get back in and just watch these smaller moving averages. If it holds those moving averages, just put your buy order in right there. Okay, so you were in at 75. Well, you're in good shape. That's my opinion. I think you're in pretty good shape. RDD's not, I mean, that's one of those, RDD to me is like a cult stock, or not stock, but a cult crypto, is that you got the Asians that love this thing. And I'm not being racist, so nobody kill me for that. But it is very popular among the Asian trading people. It just, they love it. And so anyway, I mean, look at this. Yeah. I mean, I like this. I really do. I mean, it looks good. It just kind of makes me mad that I missed it. So, but good for you that you got in, and I'll take a look at it, and if it looks like it's going to dip or something, I may get back in. Oh, yeah, it's definitely active. Yeah, for sure. And that was one of the things I've talked to friends of mine, and it's one of those that you have to put in a limit sell or a, you know, stop loss. You know, you can't, I mean, because I go to bed, well, I'm going to go to bed here in about an hour, but I wake up in the morning and I go back and look, and I'm like, oh my God, that thing hit 130 or whatever. And then I wake up and it's, you know, 100. So I missed out on huge moves. So hope that helps. Roy, you are welcome. Good luck. I hope you make millions off this thing. I really do. You too. Thank you, sir. Anybody else have any chart requests? Thanks, Roy. Appreciate it. Anybody have any other charting requests? Anything to look at? Okay, people, if you're still there, speak up if you want some chart requests, please. All right, folks. Looks like nobody has any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good evening.